You have found the In the Verse podcast. Songwriting inspired by pop culture media. With your hosts, Marc Gunn and Mikey Mason.
Welcome to In the Verse Season 2. My name is Marc Gunn, the creator of the Firefly Drinking Songs show.
And I am Mikey Mason, creator of the beer-powered Time Machine podcast and currently the MIKEYtalks podcast.
Yay, MIKEYtalks. I love that show. This is episode 0 of our new 10-episode season of the In the Verse podcast.
Since we are despondently out of episodes of Firefly to discuss and to write about, we'll be finding inspiration this season in episodes of other media, in TV shows, in comic books, cartoons, maybe even, video games.
That'd be a weird one for me.
Not ruling it out, but yeah, it would be weird.
I won't rule it out either. I haven't played a video game in a long time.
Let's furiously find an online Pac-Man thing so we can...
Ooh, or if it's on my phone, if I could do a game on my phone.
Oh no, dude! We could do a Neko Itsume. I think that's what it was called.
I have no clue what that is.
It's a cat collector game. You put food out in dishes and try and get cats into your yard. It's really that's the whole game. I might actually know
that. My daughter might actually have played that game. As always, you can support us in this and other creative endeavors by supporting Mikey Mason at patreon.com/Mikey Mason.
And by supporting Mark at his Gun Runners Club at patreon.com/Celtfather. Or if you're in Boston, Celtfather.
No.
Sorry, I had to poke the bear.
Upcoming shows. Fortunately, apparently I've already scheduled an October 7th Brown Coat Drinking Songs show on Coffee with the Celt Father. So this Thursday, if you'd like to hear me sing some of my Firefly songs, come join me over on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch. It's basically on all the streaming sites. So go check it out. October 15th through 17th, I'll be at Multiverse Con in Atlanta. November 5th through 7th, Conjuration in Atlanta. And of course, again, every Thursday, Coffee with the Celt Father at noon on the channels.
Yeah. And for me, tonight, since this is coming out October 2nd, I will be doing 2 shows at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. One in the afternoon, one in the evening. They're comedy shows, and they're part of the Comedians of the Galaxy Tour. And then Thursday, October 7th, I'll be at Sully's Comedy Cellar in Parkville, Maryland, as part of the Comedians of the Galaxy Tour. And as always, sometime in October, I will have a free online show at twitch.tv/Comedy Rock Geek.
Band news. In the Verse can now be found at fireflydrinkingsongs.com. Now, that used to be a website that I had set up just for my Firefly projects, but I decided since, that we're relaunching season 2 of In the Verse, we need a dedicated URL. So you can go to fireflydrinkingsongs.com. Now, I am finishing up my next Firefly CD, which is called Selcouth, which means when everything is strange and different, yet you find it marvelous anyway. And that'll be out next year. I don't have a release date yet. I'm still mixing the final tracks. There's a couple of tracks that are just giving me problems. So stay tuned for that. Pub Songs and Stories is my other main podcast that I do. I also have Irish and Celtic Music podcast, but this one has a little bit more about me if you want to find out. I tell stories about songs as well. They're a little shorter than some of the stuff that comes out on this show, but maybe not as detailed, which is kind of, I really like that about this podcast. You can subscribe at pubsong.com. And of course, you can get it early, that episode, that show, as well as lots more MP3s and other podcasts when you become a patron of mine over on the Gun Runners Club on Patreon.
And my Patreon patrons are still since September of 2019, still getting a new song every Monday. That's 52 songs a year for as little as $1 a month. Although you're completely welcome to pledge more if you can afford it and you want to. And by the way, I put out well more than 52 songs a year. I get excited and I write songs and I just throw them up there. I do February album writing month. Sometimes I do commissions. Sometimes I write new theme songs for a podcast. And I'm like, yes, that needs to go up there. And of course, I put that up and you get your hands on it. And then there's the Mikey Talks podcast. 2 episodes a week are just for patrons at a certain level, but my Friday episode is always free to everyone. You can find that, of course, as we've said multiple times, patreon.com/Mikey Mason.
And I gotta say, I really enjoyed, you put last Friday, this is right after Gen Con, and last Friday you posted a day in the life of Mikey Mason at Gen Con, which I highly enjoyed. It got my brain going quite a bit. He kept saying, I bet you're bored right now, but during the podcast, but I was like, I'm not. I'm finding this fascinating.
So here's the thing. To me, it's just, that was just what, Thursday? I mean, So I was like, this has got to be boring for you. And you and other people have said that wasn't boring at all. That was kind of cool, man.
It was. It got so I was listening to a podcast about travel on the way to or from, I forget which now, but they were talking, probably both, but they were talking about, travel. Oh, it was travel writing. I was coming back on the creative pen. And I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about the different types of travel writing one could do. And it got my juices going with like podcasts. So I've done travel videos, but I haven't really done a whole lot with travel podcasts, and I wanted to. So It was like, well, this is one way of doing it. And it was, it was a quick method that you put out there. The only problem I had with your episode was the very first transition, because I was not ready for it.
Yeah. Well,
and then after that, I was every other time I was like, okay, he's transitioning to the next one. But the first one, I was like, whoa, wait, it's 8 o'clock. What happened?
I didn't have my full arsenal of equipment with me. So I had a laptop that I had to download Audible, and I was trying to do this in Audible, and I'm not used to Audible. I'm a Logic Pro X guy or Logic Pro 10 guy. So, and I didn't have my full arsenal of sound effects, and I'm doing it in the middle of Gen Con in a hotel, and I might have been slightly inebriated the entirety of Gen Con. So, necessity is the mother of how the heck did I do that again?
Right. I know. It was nicely done, I got to say. I might be having my own episodes. Though I immediately tried doing one on the way back from Gen Con, and I immediately have just given up on that one.
It's not easy forcing yourself to talk openly and frankly about what you're thinking and feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
When you're thinking, man, do I want everybody to know exactly what I'm thinking and feeling in this moment?
Right. Exactly. I think that was number one of my problems, which is going to be the biggest challenge of things I'm going to have to figure out how to get past. But it would make an engaging. I felt like it could make an engaging a podcast if I can pull it off.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Apparently people liked mine. All right, so we're here. We're back in the verse saddle. New theme song. We've got new content coming because they're not making any more episodes of Firefly apparently. So let's talk about what we're going to do with this season. We said it's going to be a 10-episode season, right?
Yes.
So that's 5 episodes about things I like, and then 5 more episodes about things I like.
Yeah, pretty much. That sounds about right.
Oh, I mean, no. So we've been talking back and forth, and we're still open to suggestions. So if you have suggestions, feel free to send them to us, Mikey at MikeyMason.com, or hit us up on Facebook or on our Patreon, whatever. But we're looking at single episodes or 2-episode arcs, no more than 1 or 2 episodes, right, of a series, right?
Well, we say that, but we have 3 episodes of Doctor Who we're already looking at. So.
Well, that's true. So we're going to do individual, but I mean,
but yes, I think so we're going to keep it.
It's not going to be like season 1 of.
Right. We're not doing the entire Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. We're going to do an episode of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
We'll need to pick one, right? We're not doing the entirety of Peaky Blinders, but we are going to have to pick an episode of Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
What else are we looking at?
Well, we said the Hobbit, the Rankin and Bass animated version of the Hobbit.
Oh,
which is the one that I think that was what got me into the Lord of the Rings.
Is that was it Free or was that America who did the soundtrack? I think that was America who did the soundtrack, but it might have been no. I think it was America. I'm not sure. The band. I don't remember. Scott Vaughn would know, but he's not on the podcast. We're gonna do we've got to do an episode of The Mandalorian, right?
Episode of The Mandalorian, because how many people have compared Firefly to The Mandalorian?
Right. Right, exactly, yes.
Space Western,
Let's see. We said that we might do comic books, so what comic book?
Well, the one that came to my mind, the one that my favorite of the graphic novels is, for Firefly graphic novels, is Shepherd's Tale. And so if you haven't read Shepherd's Tale, you should go get a copy now. So that you can read along with us and find out what it's all about, find out Shepard's secret back history. We're going to talk about and spoil it for you if you haven't read it.
I freely admit that I have not yet read it.
Oh my God. I read it. I loved it. And it was well written. I would love to have seen it as an episode on Firefly because it was brilliantly done. And it's very interesting. Yeah, you have to read it. Okay. It throws you off a little bit.
I was already looking it up on Amazon, so we could do that. We've talked about Doctor Who. We've mentioned the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. We've mentioned Peaky Blinders. Ripper Street is we're going to do at least one. And I have to tell you, I shouldn't say it.
No clue what that is.
I shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it. Okay, so the main actor in Ripper Street, and I've seen him in a lot of things, but especially in Ripper Street, he reminds me of a British you.
Oh, really?
Yes, very much so. And
nice.
And we were watching it. Jody and I watched it together. My wife and Jody and I watched it together, and I would pause it and like, God, he looks so much like Mark. So, and you're going to look at it and you're like, I don't see it.
Probably. I am terrible about that. Only rarely do my wife is like, you and your Kenzie is your spitting image. And I'm like, once in a blue moon, I'm like, oh yeah, I see it. But most of the time I'm like,
I don't get it. Okay, so we said 3 episodes of Doctor Who, The Hobbit, The Mandalorian, Shepherd's Tale, a Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, an episode of Peaky Blinders, an episode of Ripper Street. So that's 9. So there's one more episode we're going to have to fill. What could we possibly put in that 10th episode?
I don't know. Could it be big? It has to be something big.
Damn it, I don't know.
A movie, huh?
We haven't done a movie. We did a
big
big damn movie.
A big damn movie. What a great idea, Mikey.
What movie could fill that description?
Maybe Serenity. What do you think?
I've never heard of it.
Oh, that's just wrong.
So
and watching that, I kind of that is actually one that I do wonder if we should break into 2 parts too. I don't know if you like that idea or not, but because I feel like it could potentially. It is big enough, but I don't know. We'll play it by ear.
To be completely honest, I think there are several ways to attack the big damn movie, either as a unified thing or as a 2-part, because it's technically 2 episodes, or one song for each of the primary characters.
I thought about that too, but I thought we could do that. Right. How about this? Let's do the big damn movie. Just do it this time.
Yeah.
And maybe in season 3 we can come back and revisit for a second part of that movie.
Maybe, or maybe we'll start a separate Patreon, and the bonus content will be character songs from the movie.
Of course, you'd bring that up.
Well,
Mr. 52 songs a year,
at least.
At least.
What? I like writing, man. I love writing.
I know. I need to make more time to do it, which is one of the reasons why this season's even coming back, is that I was like, you're writing 300 songs a year, and I'm like, I've got to write some more songs. I miss writing.
287 on average, but I'm just kidding. It's around 70, but sometimes more, literally. But so, all right, so that's what we're planning. And do we know exactly what we're going to do in what order we're going to do it? No, but we do know what episode we're going to start with. We know what season 2, episode 1 is going to be, don't we, Mark?
Yes. Season 2, episode 1 will be Blink from Doctor Who.
There you go.
So if you haven't watched that episode, you can go watch that. Though we will give you a synopsis in the episode, so you don't have to worry about that. But in case you haven't seen that episode, it's awesome.
It is. It is.
Whatever you do
true story about Blink. Neither of my sons were into Doctor Who. It was my birthday, and they wanted to know what I wanted for my birthday. And I said, I want you to watch an episode of Doctor Who. And they're like, and I said, here's the deal. Watch one episode. If you don't like the series, I will never ask you to watch any more of it ever again. And they said, okay. And so I put Blink on, and I walked out of the room. Seriously.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
After it was done, they loved it. And Ben, the oldest, he said, I said, you need to take your brother Jack for a walk around the block. And he's like, I don't want to. I said, no, you really need to take your brother Jack for a walk around the block. And he was like, I don't want to. And I pulled him aside and I said, the neighbors down the street have that giant angel statue in their yard. And he goes, Jack, we're going for a walk. And seriously, within a year, Ben had seen every available extant episode of Doctor Who that there was. I mean, he watched more than I ever did.
Right.
But yeah, there you go. That's the power of Blink.
I know. It's a fantastic. I'm looking forward to sharing that with Kinsey when we get there. We're slowly working our way up to watching more and more episodes. And originally, when I first showed it to her, I think she was I don't remember how old she was, 6 or 5 or 6, and it might have been, for her, it was a little bit too soon. Now she's like full into it, and so we're going faster at watching them. And she's like, "Yes, I want more." She's been listening to Devo Spice. He has his Doctor Who album that he put out a number of years back, and it's a fantastic album. If you like Doctor Who,
I think it's called "I Am the Doctor."
I Am the Doctor. Yeah. And that's one of Kenzie's favorite albums. She doesn't get most of the references, but she loves the music and the song.
She doesn't get them yet.
yet, exactly. And as we come to each scene, relevant to the songs, I'm like, there you go. Now you get it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Are you my mummy?
All right. So, same format as before. We're going to open up. We're going to talk about our weeks and what's coming up for us. And then we're going to do a synopsis of the episode or whatever we're talking about. And then we will discuss it from a creative standpoint, right?
Yep.
And then we'll break off into our separate corners and we'll each write a song inspired by something in that discussion or that episode or that media or that book or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Then we will attach demos of the episodes to the end of, or demos of the songs to the end of the episode of In the Verse and put it out into the world and then move on to the next one. Yes?
Yep. Yes.
There we go.
So the only change will be that we're not going to talk about the song anymore, I don't think, in the next episode. So that's pretty much the only change we'll make, which I think we were doing beforehand.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we will. Because the reality is that we love to talk about our music.
That's true. We'll see how it goes. I guess we'll see how it goes.
We'll play that by
the other thing is, if you have any suggestions for, I think the Doctor Who ones we've already picked. And, we picked the graphic novel. So The Mandalorian, Peaky Blinders, Ripper Street, if there are episodes, or Dungeons & Dragons cartoon, if there are episodes you think we should check out, you feel free to drop us a line about that. Because I changed the URL to fireflydrinkingsongs.com, the old URL or email address that we had is no longer good.
Right.
So you're going to send an email to Mikey at MikeyMason.com.
Yeah.
He'll be the person who manages all that.
So let's thank the people who made this possible, and then we'll back out of here, and then we will get to watching some Doctor Who.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of my gun runners on Patreon. You people are absolutely amazing. Big thanks to Not Higgins, CJ Taylor, Melinda and Jeremiah Wesley, Sarah Crockett, Bill Mandeville, William McCassick, Kel Burrill, Luke Miller, Laura May Sorkin, Alexis Marie Alm, James Reagan, Les Howard, Carrie Whitney, and Troy Rogers, and Eric Ray. Again, I am so grateful for all of your incredible support of my music over these many, many, many years. And I know some of you have actually raised your patronage over the past month, which is absolutely incredible. And I also, again, there's I don't put out nearly as much music as Mikey does, but I do have lots of podcasts. So if you want to check it out and become a patron, patreon.com/Keltfather.
You have podcasts? Sorry. and likewise, I want to say thank you so very much to all of the amazing patrons of mine who help keep the music and the podcasts being made, especially Oops, Wrong Cookie, Amy Stewart, Michael Candlewall, Josh Logan, Amy Morris, Les Howard, Brian Jackie, John Haidt, John R. Woolard, Scott Mealy, Randy Brown, Robin Abbas, Scott and Melanie Weinhusen, Jeremy Jackson, and Jennifer Lewis. You guys, all of you, every one of you, all of my patrons, you mean the world to me, and you keep me afloat in a world of uncertainty and darkness. You are lights that guide my way, and I so totally appreciate you.
Thank you so much for listening. You can download many of our songs when you sign up on our Patreon pages. Find out more about Marc Gunn and Mikey Mason, how to support our music on Patreon.
We'd love your comments, your suggestions, songs, or lyrics, or links to videos to share in the next show. Use the hashtag #InTheVerse. You can post them on the Blue Sun Tour Facebook page, or email me at mikey@mikeymason.com.
In the Verse was produced by Marc Gunn and Mikey Mason. Sign up on our website and find out more about the Blue Sun Tour when it happens at fireflydrinkingsongs.com.